Unbreakable items were one of 2B2T's most unique and impactful items. A player could fly forever, bring only one set of armor into battle, and use a pickaxe for an extended period of time without repairing it. However, not many know where they came from, how they permanently altered the server, or where they disappeared. In today's video, you'll learn about the history of unbreakable items and how their existence forever altered the server. The story begins around August of 2018. All around the server, there were rumors about unbreakable swords. SkullerG, being one of 2B2T's avid collectors, was never interested in them, but his friend Jimyy was. This piqued Jimy's interest, and he wanted to check if the swords were truly unbreakable. Skuller, believing they were a scam, made no attempt to trade for the swords, whereas Jimyy pursued a trade with a player named Gambino. One day, at their stash named Donk, Jimyy urged Skuller to load his Ender Pearl. Skuller quickly loaded his Ender Pearl, and Jimyy showed him that the sword was in fact unbreakable. Skuller began to think, how is this possible? How can you even exploit things like items to have them take no durability? This had them thinking about how they were created and how it might be possible to gain access to more of these items. Due to Skuller and Jimyy being big collectors, they went through their massive stash and found a shulker box filled with negative durability items. One item in particular was a pickaxe named Stardust with negative 22,000 durability. As negative durability items had odd properties, they wondered if it had something to do with it. Jimyy, SkullerG, and another player named the Fun Cubes were in a voice call, theorizing how these items could be made. Skuller tried everything that he could think of, like repairing the tools and enchanting them. Randomly, the Fun Cubes blurted out, "Why don't you try to combine them in a crafting table?" And the rest was history. Skuller took two of the Stardust pickaxes and combined them. It made a fully repaired pickaxe. Skuller instantly went to the wall of their stash and started to mine. Skuller knew they had figured it out when he realized the pickaxe with no enchants was taking durability. The Unbreakables were now able to be made, but the real question was, how were the negative items even discovered? To figure out how negative items were discovered, we need to figure out who created negative durability items in the first place. One of the first players to create negative durability items was a player named Tanaxis. Tanaxis learned about negative durability items through a Reddit video. He decided to test it out on 2B2T, and surprisingly, it worked. Instead of leaking it to the public, he decided to tell his friend UFO Crossing about what he achieved and gave him random items to create into negative durability items, and will be a key player in the story later on. But who created the unbreakable swords Jimyy was able to get? Well, Azurilex was the first to create unbreakable swords. One day while he was creating a ton of duped negative durability gear during the 2018 Donkey dupe, he discovered that if you push the durability far enough into the negatives, it would lose the durability bar. But how was this possible? This was accomplished because 2B2T was running an old paper spigot version that had a bug. It caused a mending enchantment in Minecraft to harm the gear rather than repair it. This exploit only worked every now and then and lasted only a few hours. The sword's durability in the kit, on the other hand, was pushed to the limit, rendering them unbreakable. He didn't know this until he duped a dozen kits and discovered the swords had no durability. Azurilex was the only player with these unbreakable swords when the owner of 2B2T, Housemaster, solved the paper spigot issue, but Azurilex decided to dupe them even more. From there, he gave boxes of these unbreakable swords to players such as Wayo, who, again, will be a key player later on in the story. After researching for a while, SkullerG and Jimyy figure out that when certain items are obtained from a glitch during the Minecraft version 1.12, merge experience orbs combining at the same time of the player receiving them would negatively affect your gear, causing it to lose durability. The earliest documented example of this is actually from Jimyy himself. He was in a mob spawner repairing his gear when his flint and steel went to negative 420 durability. One major flaw with the items is that they needed to be over a certain amount of durability to become unbreakable. If they did not reach a high enough negative durability, they were deemed useless and not able to be crafted into unbreakables. After the discovery of how to make the unbreakables, the group swiftly made everything they had into them. A deal was made with the group's longtime partners, Lord Popcorn and UFO Crossing. The deal was, Skuller agreed to trade them the method for making the Unbreakables to UFO Crossing and Lord Popcorn in exchange for high negative durability items. As no one had negative durability diamond chestplates, Skuller used a negative golden chestplate he got from the deal to create one of the first Unbreakable sets on the server. The same day, in the group chat consisting of GSmack, SkullerG, the Fun Cubes, UFO Crossing, and Lord Popcorn, plans were made to go to spawn and wreak havoc with their Unbreakable items, along with the God Mode exploits, and utilizing 32Ks, which were enchanted items with a total of 32,000 enchants, allowing a player to one-shot another player even with gear. It pretty much made the group nearly untouchable at spawn. They were able to carry much more gear than any opponents and outlast them in any scenario. Later, Gambino came back into the picture and threatened to leak their knowledge of the Unbreakables and the method of how to create them if the group didn't supply him with the gear. So the group gave in and added him to the group. But then, tragedy struck. A fallout between Lord Popcorn and UFO Crossing was just about to start. Popcorn heard word that UFO Crossing was planning to blow up his stash, leaving Popcorn with absolutely nothing. Popcorn, out of spite, took a copy of every item he had at the stash and blew it up before UFO Crossing could do the same to him. This caused a rift in the group. During the 7th incursion, UFO Crossing started to sell the Unbreakable items for around $15 a set, or $15 a piece. No one really believed they were true, nor did they want to spend that much for an armor set, so he didn't make many sales. Later in the war, they discovered a player named Wayo had gained access to the negative durability diamond chestplate they were looking for to make full diamond gear. They traded Wayo for the chest piece, and the negative durability golden chestplate was retired. Now that many players had the gear from PvP fights and friends giving it to other friends, the Unbreakable gear became public and massively duped. Later, Kaiju and 0x22 developed an extension of Future Client, which was a hack client called True Durability. This showed the actual durability of the gear and allowed players to see how much durability was left. This led to the discovery of how much durability an armor piece could have. The equation is pretty simple. Take 32,767 and add it to whatever durability the item has that you are making unbreakable. For example, in order to make a diamond chestplate unbreakable, it would have 32,767 plus 1,504 durability, making it a total of 34,271 durability. With this simple equation, it was easy to make perfect unbreakables. For about a year, unbreakable items would become a frequent piece of equipment on 2B2T, making electro travel a breeze by removing the need to repair. Because of the high durability, players could PvP with just one set. It was much easier to mine highways or terraform land because you only needed one pickaxe or shovel. Overall, unbreakables were an amazing and efficient piece of equipment. However, were these items too powerful? Some players wondered when the unbreakables would be patched, claiming that it was long overdue. However, players would argue that they should remain part of the game and that they were vanilla. Around this time, 32Ks were patched, as players complained about the ability to one-shot any player at spawn, even with gear, and was turned into a form of PvP combat for a period of time. So with the fall of 32Ks, due to it being an unintended feature that caused complaints, what stopped Housemaster to patch unbreakables as well? Housemaster released a patch on December 19th, 2019, that permanently removed all illegal items from the server, including unbreakables. Many players left the server as a result of this, as projects were forced to be halted. Without unbreakables, PvP had to be completely reworked. Mining highways became slower, flying long distances with Elytra became more difficult due to the need to ensure that your Elytra didn't break, and many other aspects of the server were permanently altered. To this day, unbreakables are patched. However, what's to say that they will never come back? The server has thrived without the presence of unbreakables, and most players enjoy the server without unbreakables. But what would happen if they did come back? Would the server have more projects? Would the player base be more active? Only time will tell. That begs the question, was Housemaster in the right to patch unbreakables? I'll leave that for you to decide.